So here's an example of a simple fix on an AC. The inside unit is running, the outside unit is not running. So first thing you do is you come to your breaker box, open it up, and so this one actually has what's called a pull. So you take precaution here, you take these. Now you've disconnected the power from the outside unit. So with the power disconnected, first thing you want to check and see if the fan blades are moving freely. So I just took a branch and take the branch over here, and with the power disconnected, I want to see if this actually rotates. So yeah, it rotates freely. So the next thing, most likely it's a capacitor. So let's take a look at the capacitor. You go to identify the capacitor is you follow this cable here and it comes up. This is the compartment that you want to look into to find your capacitor. So once you have the screws removed, you can remove the panel, right? And again, keeping in mind that we still have no power in here. Next thing you want to check is to make sure that there is no power. Even though we've taken this out, we're pretty certain there's no power, but I'm going to take my voltmeter right here. So I have it on volts, and then I follow this conduit here that brings in this leg and this leg into our contactor. Put my probes there, and I see that I'm reading basically nothing. So it's 0.75 volts. So it's there's no power. So most likely what is the cause of failure here is this capacitor over here. So here we have our capacitor out of the condenser, and I can see some of the labels here. This is labeled fan, and then this one is labeled HERM for hermetically sealed compressor, and this is the C for common. So these two here are serving our fan, and then these two here are serving our compressor. So I put my meter on MFD for microfarad. Between these two here, I'm getting 0. So this capacitor is bad. So what it should be reading, looks like the rating for this capacitor, you can see here it says 35 microfarad and 5 microfarad. So for the fan, you should be reading 5 microfarad. For the compressor, should be reading 35. So that seems to be the cause. And these capacitors, you can purchase them. They're pretty inexpensive, $8 to $10 maybe. So here's now measuring the compressor side of things. The capacitor for the compressor, it's reading 35, 34. So again, since this is a dual capacitor, one side of the capacitor seems to be good. The other side of the capacitor, which is for our fan, is reading open. So here you can see that air is blowing out of our condenser, and it is warm air. So seems to be working.